Historian Jon Meacham hit the nail on the head this morning on Morning Joe relative to Joe Biden. I want you to listen to this and let's talk a little bit about it on the other side.
You can talk about Tennessee specifically if you want, but more broadly, what's going on in the South right now, the mood of the South?
I think the hope of defeating President Trump lies with getting, and I don't know what the percentage is, Kornacki's forgotten more about this than I know or than any of us know, but you need a certain percentage of people who simply would not vote for Secretary Clinton for a variety of reasons, fair or unfair, to come back to the Democratic Party, or Republicans who were Republicans in a pre-Trump world. Part of what's happening, I think, but I think all of us know in terms of common sense, and I know lots of people here in Tennessee who are not liberal Democrats, to say the least. When I say I have conservative friends in Tennessee, that's redundant, right? I mean, demographically, you have to. There's no other choice. And yet, they have, until the last 10 days or so, they loved the way the Dow was going. They were fine with the judges. They don't like the unconstitutional Ukrainian campaign backroom deals. They hate the way the president speaks. They hate the way he behaves. But in the absence of a compelling, and dare I say it, safe alternative, they were going to end up voting again for this guy. Biden, and I know this is true in the Upper South, Biden is the one figure here who might get 10, 12, 15% of what I would think of as Bush, McCain, Romney Republicans to say, I'm going to vote across the aisle, because let's be honest, Joe Biden right now looks a lot more like a Bush, a McCain, or a Romney than anybody else on the stage, which is kind of a remarkable thing.
Understand what Meacham said, because it's important and it shows you the priority of the Democratic Party. It said there are two options the Democrats had to regain the presidency under his opinion, in this historian's opinion. The first is to get back disaffected Democratic voters who, for whatever reasons, did not vote for Hillary Clinton. And let's do remember, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, but lost the election by 80,000 votes, a small amount of votes spread out over 3 states, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. So what we're saying is we keep her map and go into these areas that actually Bernie Sanders was really strong in these areas. But interestingly, he said the options were regain the Democratic voters you've lost, those from the Obama coalition, or appeal to the Republican voters, the 10 to 15% of Republican voters who pretty much like the Trump economic policies, who kind of like the Trump judges, but just doesn't particularly like Trump. Let's go after those voters. He said the option is to go after those voters or the Democratic disaffected voters that you've lost. And in this process, he says, Biden looks more like McCain, looks more like Romney, or looks more like Bush. And that's who the safe choice is. Let's go with that candidate who can excite that 10 to 15% of those people who believe in the Republican policies that harm most Americans. That is who we choose.